For this lesson, I will explain to you how the review and assess assignment works. Let's use Chapter 1, Section 2 of the review and assess assignment since this is the first time that you'll be using this format. This review and assess questions are the same questions that you find at the bottom of every lesson in your world history book. You will be required to fill up the information for every slide so that you will develop a good habit of writing your name, class period, and even the date. Now let's read the direction. Go to page 24 to 25 of your book and answer the following questions below. And that is a very straightforward direction. It says go to your book, pages 24 to 25, that is Unit 1, Chapter 1, Section 2. Then you will find on the left side, topmost, 2.1, the origins of Christianity, pages 24 to 25. The title is in purple fonts or letters. So here's the lesson. It's about 1 to 2 pages long, very short. And this is my personal copy, and I highlighted the important information that I will teach later. Now, what is your first task? Your first task is just to identify the title of the lesson. It says here on the left side, what is the title of the lesson? And obviously, that is the origins of Christianity. So let's go ahead and type it. The origins of Christianity. Well, of course, you can also adjust the font size so that it will be more visible. Now let's answer the first question. What were some of Jesus' teachings? Of course, to answer this, you need to go back to the book. So let's go to the book to find the answer to the questions. So here we find that Jesus used parables to teach his sermons and to teach his followers how to live their lives. Now, Jesus taught that believers should show love for God and charity toward all people, or love toward all people. He also taught that those who sought God's forgiveness for their sins would go to heaven after they died. So that's it for number 1. It's as simple as that. Now for number 2, sequence of events. What were the key events in the life of Jesus? Of course, we will need to go back to the book so that we'll find the sequence of events in the life of Jesus. Here we find about his Jewish roots and how he traveled around Judea, that's a place, preaching and gathering disciples or followers. So you can just write key events include the following. Born in Judea, worked as a carpenter, began preaching when he was about 30, arrested and executed in Jerusalem. So that's it. You're not writing a lot. You're just identifying the key events in his life. He was born in Judea and he preached around the area and gathered disciples or followers. Now, finally, number 3, make inferences. Now, to make an inference is to come up with a conclusion reached on the basis of evidence and reasoning. This, of course, is an opinion-based question, but it should be based on the lesson that you just learned in section 2.1. Now, the question is, what do you think makes parables an effective way to teach Christian ideas? Again, go back to the book, and here you will find the word parables highlighted in our book. So, parables are short stories about everyday life. These are short stories with good lessons or lessons behind them. So if I'm a student, I will probably answer this question like this. Parables are an effective way to teach Christian ideas because they apply larger moral concepts or ideas to relatable everyday events. Parables make the teachings easy to understand or access. So that's it. That's your review and assess questions for lesson 2.1 of chapter 1. So in a normal day, we'll probably cover 1 or 2 lessons. It depends on the length of the lesson. There are lessons that are a little bit long, so probably it's just 1 lesson in a day. Or there are lessons that are relatively short, so we can cover 2 lessons in 1 day. So you will do the same for the next lesson. You will fill up the information and you will read the direction and answer the questions that are posted in the slide. Write down the title first, go to the book to answer the questions effectively. Again, my goal is to upload a recorded lesson to guide you to answer this review and assess questions, this check for understanding questions that you will need to answer daily. So that's it. That's the review and assess assignment that you will need to do daily. And instead of responding to these questions for every lesson that I upload, you will write down your responses in this particular file so that they will be compiled, so that it's easy for us to access this information that you have, and you can use this in the future as your reviewer. Go ahead, open the review and assess assignment and do the first one. You can follow the recorded lesson that I uploaded about section 2.1 about the origins of Christianity. Go back to Google Classroom and open this assignment.